Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Had a good Christmas day and all that rubbish. I spent most of it in bed. This time of year, I can happily sleep most of the day. I must have been a bear in a different life and ready to hibernate. Now today we're going to check out the black metal bands. I was going to do it yesterday. I thought yesterday would be a good day for black metal, but I ended up just skipping through it. So we're going to do it today. Now, this year we haven't had too many black metal bands on the channel. I like black metal a lot. I like post-black as well. We've got some of those bands in here. But it's difficult to get these kind of bands on the channel purely because they don't really put out a lot of music videos, black metal bands. There's loads of black metal releases, but they just put up the album cover. So we don't get to listen to them too much on this channel, but we have listened to some great bands this year still, some high quality black metal bands. So there's still a good few to mention. I think we've got about 8. So yeah, this first band I want to mention is Hidden Mothers. These guys are a post-black band. They've also got elements of kind of hardcore in there, a bit of post-rock and post-metal in their music as well, breaking it down, tremmy riffs on the G string and all of that stuff. These are a really nice band. I listened to their EP again the other day just to kind of refresh myself because it is a while since I listened to it. And I really like it. It's got a great vibe. The only thing I'd like to see from this band is even more atmosphere. They've got a real nice kind of heaviness edge to them. They've got a nice atmospheric edge, but I think they could just crank up the reverb even more on the vocals, just to kind of wash them out even further. And I think they could just kind of dial up the atmosphere even more, this band, to really kind of take it to the next level. But still very, very, very nice. They only put out a 3-track EP, so hopefully in 2021 we're going to get some more music out of these guys and listen to them a bit further. Nice uplifting riffage. It's got that kind of emotional blackened edge to it. It's a bit post-hardcore in a way as well. Great sound. A nice amount of atmosphere and a nice amount of black and some other elements in there on top. But as I say, I think just to kind of take this to the next level is even more atmosphere, because you can't go wrong with that. And these guys are another atmospheric kind of black metal, ambient black metal band. Sons of a Wanted Man. We only listened to one of these guys' tracks. It was a big long one, 11 minutes long. It was a real journey of a track, nicely done. So yeah, hopefully want to hear some more out of these guys in the new year as well. But these guys were a nice band that we had on the channel. Big gravelly vocal. Again, you've got that kind of emotional but also uplifting edge to it, like a sadness as well as an uplifting edge to it. I love that in kind of post-black, atmospheric black stuff. Very nice. Now, this next guy we had on the channel a bunch of times, I should say, under 2 different names as well, Wisphaven and Unsigned, 2 different projects. This guy's a one-man band doing depressive black metal, also doing some more traditional black metal and stuff, changing his sound, growing in the mix, growing as a musician, and kind of, it's been nice to see him over this year because he's put out a bunch of releases, a bit like me, just firing out the releases as much as he can, got loads of ideas, getting them all down, and growing as a musician through the year. And I feel I've done that this year as well, which is very cool. So yeah, we like to keep up with this guy. I feel a kinship with this guy as a one-man band doing depressive black metal, growing as a musician, growing in the mix, and just getting better and better as time goes on. So yeah, very, very cool. This is Wisphaven. I particularly enjoyed this track that we checked out, which was earlier on in the year. This is more kind of DSBM-y stuff. And I think he does this very, very nicely. What I would like to see out of this guy moving into 2021, he's done the DSBM stuff. He's done some more traditional black metal. What I'd like to see him do now is kind of take his music in his own personal direction. Because I feel like up until this point, he's been trying to kind of emulate some other styles and do his version of those styles. But I think this guy could be his own thing, create his own vibe, create his own sound, so that when you hear him and when you hear his music, you know it's him. You know, if you're familiar with it, you go, oh, this is a Wisphaven track. And that's what I'd like to see him do in 2021, whatever that be, whether it's more traditional black sound or DSPM, maybe you could go post-black or something like that, do a mixture of the two, atmospheric, traditional BM or something like that. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'd just like to see him grow and kind of create his own vibe and his own sound. But this is a very nice track, Dark Light. Let's listen to this one. Nice synths in this one. It's got a good wash to it. It's got a good trudgy kind of drum beat to it, plodding along. Nice, harsh, distorted guitars that sit nicely with them synths. We haven't got any yet, but big atmospheric vocals, washed in reverb and delay. Yeah, this guy's got a good sound. I particularly enjoy his DSPM stuff. That's what I do myself, and I think one-man band DSPM bands really great, because you kind of it's a very personal sound. It's a personal thing, and when you're doing it all yourself, you know, it's all you, it's all your kind of spin on it. So I think that's very cool. Now, this next band we only checked out once. A lot of these bands we only checked out once, and I want to hear a lot more of them. But I could tell, you know, even just from checking out once, that they were worthy of the list and they were good quality bands. But yeah, we need to hear more of these bands, particularly this one, because I thought these guys were great. This was a 2014 live performance we saw at the Summer Breeze. This is Heretoir. These guys were great. This was a long track as well. Takes you on a journey, ups and downs, atmospheric, post-blacky, got some nice black elements as well. So yeah, these guys are great. Great vocal in this one as well. Background vocal. Great live performance. Yeah, that background vocal just sounds great. Nice build-ups and crescendos, big sound. Really nice live sound as well. So yeah, these guys were great, but we need to hear more of them. That's all there is to it. Same with this band as well. We only heard them once. We need to hear more of them. These guys were heavier though. This was kind of more blackened, just kind of blackened music rather than pure black music, because it had a lot of other edges in there, but they were all dark and blackened. This is Throwe. We checked out their track Hammer and Nails. Hardcoreness to it. The deathiness to it as well, and the tremmy riffs. So it's kind of like blackened everything, this band. Got a blackened tone to it as well, you know. When you tones like that, it doesn't matter what riff you play on the guitar, it's going to sound blackened because you've got a blackened guitar tone. So yeah, very, very nice band. But we need to check them out more. And the same with this band as well, Crossbringer. These were really heavy, really loud, blasting music, but again, kind of got some other elements in there that aren't just straight up black. So they're just kind of a blackened band. And I really dig that. I think that, you know, adding a blackened edge, whether it be in your tone, whether it be in the vocalist tone, you know, just the guitar tones or whatever, and kind of just bringing that blackened, shadowy, evil edge to your music. And then, you know, it doesn't matter what music you're playing, it's got that vibe, it's got that edge to it, and it just comes through in the music. But yeah, I thought these guys were great, really loud, heavy band. I love that. Yeah, the stereo as well, super wide, distorted vocal. kicked out, so I want to hear more of this band because I really like that their mix is super wide and super loud. Actually pushed too hard. It was distorting this mix. But I think they went for that purposely because the fizz and the crackle of the distorted mix adds to the distortion that's in the mix already, because there's a lot of distortion on the vocal, on the guitars, on everything else. So, you know, it fits in. The distorted mix works. If there was any clean edge to this band, it wouldn't have sounded good. But because they're just heavy and loud, it worked out great. So yeah, want to hear Crossbringer again in the new year. Now, we did check out this band a couple of times, and that's because they put out a couple of really nice videos for us, high-quality videos. Good, high-quality band these are. These are one of the most solid kind of black metal bands that we've had on the channel, I would say. More professional. You know, black metal's underground. It's never going to be mainstream black metal. That's just not going to happen. It's not even the vibe of black metal. But there's some real high quality black metal bands still that if, you know, black metal ever were to go mainstream, these guys would be it, because these guys are high quality black metal, well mixed and recorded and everything else. It's not lo-fi. It's not, you know, budget DSBM or anything like that. This is, you know, high quality, well recorded, well made black metal. So yeah, this is Svältvinter. Let's check them out. Heavy and loud again though. A lot of energy. Yeah. Good mixing in the audio members of the band, nicely in that. It's got a high quality sound. So yeah, great band. We need to check them out more in the new year. Now I'm going to finish up with this band. This is it already. We've not been going that long, 12 minutes. But as I say, we just haven't had too much black metal on the channel this year. Need to get more in 2021, but that's because black metal bands need to release more videos. Now, we had 2 tracks from this band. This is Lebenssucht. These are my black metal band or find of the year. Hadn't found out about these guys until this year, and I think they're really, really great. They had Deha on the bass, but he's left the band since, and he was doing vocals as well. And his vocals, along with the female vocalist, just really, really great in this band. They sit together nicely. They've both got a kind of sorrowful, wailing kind of angriness to them as well, a pain in the music, then kind of a torturedness that comes through in the tone of the vocal. These guys are, you know, full-on black metal, and I've been looking around the kind of black metal areas of the internet, and it seems like these guys are known but not known enough for as good as they are, for as high quality as they are, and for, you know, how good their music is. So this band, you know, they really do need to be heard more, and I'm glad that I found out about them, because I just think they're a really high quality band with a great sound, with a real tortured sound. So we're going to listen to this one. This is 12 minutes long, so that'll fill out the video nicely. This is Lebenssucht and Mirrors. Both great vocals. this band, mixing it up, changing the energy, changing the dynamic, making it interesting. Nice wide sound, washed out, reverby guitars. Let's create a nice thickness to the mix. Hear the bass separately in the mix nicely as well. Great cymbal sound, cuts through the mix nicely. Love to have seen this gig. It's a great video with all the slowed down parts and stuff. Looks great with just that light under her chin. Great visuals. Drums sound great. There's a lot of double kick in this. It's got quite a slappy tone to it, but it's not too loud, doesn't take over the mix, just sits in there nicely. Adds a bit of punch to those washy guitars. Torture comes through the vocal. Guitarist has actually got a great wail as well. Everyone in this band can do a sick black metal wail. Sick drumming. Drummers mixing it up all the time, all over the different cymbals, using them to create different dynamics within the music as well, just keeping the time and the beat. It's like musical drumming, very, very sick. So good. Great guitar tone. Yeah. Vocals together just sit together really nicely. Drummer adds so much to this music because the riffage, you know, is just kind of quite washy, long chords. The drummer's mixing it up so much, doing a lot of rolls, changing it up on his cymbals so much, bringing out the double bass and changing up the beat on the kick drum. He's moving the energy about of the music all the way. It's not the guitars or the bass. It's the drummer dictating the whole groove. Very, very cool. Just shows how important drummers are, you know. And how by changing up the beat, changing up the cymbal usage over the same washed out riff, changes the energy, changes the vibe of the music, the groove. It's all down to the drummer. Love that. Drumming's sick. love to have been at that gig. But still got a great recording. Really cool visuals. Just having that light under her chin makes all the difference. Just adds the right lighting to make it really cool visual on stage. I like that they put that effort into their stage performance, because I've said it before on the show hundreds of times. Playing a live gig, being a live band isn't just about sounding good. It's about looking good on stage as well. It's about having a performance. It's about giving the crowd something to look at and kind of remember. I've seen tons of bands that just stand on stage, phone it in, and kind of haven't got a look. They're just in casual clothes. And it's a cool gig, but it's not as cool as those kind of gigs. It's never as cool as the gigs where people have put on an effort to kind of have a band image, put some kind of performance on the stage, thought about their stage performance, and they're not just playing their tracks. You know, that's not all they're doing. So I really think the bands that do that and take the effort to think about their image, have a stage performance, and put something on for the people in the crowd, visually as well as audibly, those guys are, you know, taking it to the next level compared to the people who don't really do that. And it doesn't matter how good you sound on stage, having something to look at and having a visual side to your performance as well. If that's always lacking, it's never going to be as dope as if it was there. I think these guys put on a real sick live performance, even though it's pretty, you know, they haven't necessarily got all kind of lasers and pyrotechnics and all that crap going on. It's just a very cool visual. A wedding dress covered in blood, their faces covered in blood, the light under your chin. You know, the lighting's very important. And all of those little things just can make up a very sick visual to go with the music. It just adds another level of kind of authenticity and vibe to it that just works out. I think these guys are absolutely sick. We've listened to them on a few different tracks. They're both very, very good tracks, long tracks. You can really get into, you put it on, and the sections just move from one section to the next nicely. As I say, I really noticed this time it's so much down to the drummer, at least in this track, because the riffs are kind of just like, you know, there's not a lot going on in the riff. It's not technical shredding or anything like that. But because the drummer's always mixing it up, changing up the beat, changing up the double bass beat, hitting the cymbals differently and being musical with the cymbals as well. So accenting the bits of the music, accenting the vocal, and just bringing in the sound to kind of make a dynamic shift from the last 4 bars or the last 8 bars. Because he does that so often, he's got lots of fills in between. It keeps the music interesting. It changes the dynamic and the energy of the track. So even though there's not a ton going on in the guitars, because the drums are mixing it up so much, it feels like a real kind of interesting track with a lot going on. That's pretty much down to the drummer. So yeah, the drummer in this band's absolutely sick. Now, as I say, Deha, who's one of my favourite all-time artists, I personally think he's a musical genius, although he won't have it from me that he is. He's left this band now, and I was sad about that because his vocal sat super nice with the female lead vocalist, but the guitarist has got a great wail on him as well, so kind of makes up for it in that way. So, you know, these guys have still got a great sound, even though Deha's left the band, because, you know, the other members of the band have kind of picked up the slack and have got a great tone as well. So they're still sounding great. Anyway, that's going to be it for the Black Metal Roundup. I know it wasn't a lot of bands, although we have gone on now for half an hour because that track's over 12 minutes long. So yeah, not a ton of bands to recap for the Black Metal. Hoping to get more Black Metal in the new year. Hopefully more Black Metal bands release music videos so we can check them out on the channel. But if there's an underground Black Metal band that you think I've missed this year, like Lebenssucht, you could easily just miss that band and you never know about them. Send them over, especially if they've got a music video, because we want to check them out. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that, guys. Hope you're still stuffing your face with chocolate and stuff like that. If you're off work today, spoil yourself, you might as well. But other than that, we'll see you tomorrow for another Roundup vid. See you guys, bye.